What if I told you that the most important hosting announcement in award show history happened not in a boardroom, not at a Hollywood press conference, but through a promo video featuring a mariachi band, a gospel choir, and a horse? Yeah, a horse.
What are y'all doing here?
I'm hosting the BET Awards. Jamie!
Man, what the?
Kango.
What you doing in my neighborhood?
I'm hosting the culture's biggest night. It's black suit and tie.
Black suit and tie, but can you get your black ass off my street?
James!
Today we are talking about something that has the entire internet buzzing right now. Druski is hosting the 2026 BET Awards. And before you say, oh cool, that funny guy from Instagram, I need you to stop, because that take is too small. What is happening here is so much bigger than a comedian getting a gig. By the end of this video, you are going to understand why this moment is actually historic. You are going to understand why BET made this move and what it says about the entire future of entertainment. You are going to understand whether Druski has what it takes to become the next Tyler Perry or Jerry Seinfeld. And you are going to find out why people who have not watched the BET Awards in years are suddenly clearing their schedules for June 28th. So whether you are a longtime Druski fan or you genuinely just learned his name 30 seconds ago, buckle up. This video has everything you need. Let's start from the very beginning. Who is Druski really? His full name is Drew DeWitt Desbordes. He was born on September 9th, 1992 in Atlanta, Georgia. That makes him 31 years old in 2026. He attended the University of Georgia, studying marketing. And here's the thing about that marketing degree. He never finished it in the traditional sense, but he basically turned himself into a walking, talking case study in personal brand building. He grew up in Georgia, heavily influenced by Southern Black culture, church life, and the kind of neighborhood humor that doesn't get written in Hollywood writers' rooms. It lives in barbershops, it lives in family cookouts, it lives in the parking lot after Sunday service. That is where Druski learned to be funny. He did not go to comedy school. He did not get discovered at an open mic in Los Angeles. He picked up his phone, pointed it at himself, and started making videos. And the internet went absolutely crazy.
How much are we?
250.
250. That's light.
Just got my nigga right. House call. You straight?
House call.
You straight?
Yeah.
I got that shit on too.
Sincere service with a smile. Hey, what a great day to be at CFA. I get right in here with you.
Hey, let me get this. Sunjoy.
Oh, Sunjoy. Yeah. Where I'm from, they call that Nala Palmer.
Oh, really?
Now let's talk about his social media presence, because these numbers tell the whole story. On Instagram, Druski has over 6 million followers. On TikTok, he has crossed 5 million followers. On YouTube, his subscriber count sits around 2.5 million. Combined across all platforms, we're talking somewhere in the range of 14 to 15 million followers. That is not an influencer. That is a media company in one person's body. And here is something important to understand. His audience is not passive. These are people who quote his skits in conversation. They use his characters as reaction memes. They share his videos the moment they drop. The engagement rate on his content consistently outperforms traditional celebrity accounts because Druski built his following through recognition, not PR campaigns. Now let's talk about the content itself. Because Druski did not go viral once and ride that wave. He built a catalog. The skit that first exploded his following was the Coulda Been record series.
How y'all doing? Yeah, turkey. Get him out of here. Let's get him out.
In this ongoing bit, Druski plays a completely delusional music executive who rejects obviously talented artists for ridiculous reasons. The joke works because every single person who has ever dealt with the music industry recognizes that character. It is not just funny. It is painfully accurate. That series alone brought him to the attention of actual music industry figures. Drake co-signed him publicly. That co-sign changed everything overnight. Then came the character work. Druski has a gift for creating characters that feel like real people you have met. There's the guy at the party who does not belong there but acts the most comfortable. There is the church deacon who is somehow also a hype man. There is the cousin who shows up to every event uninvited and eats all the food. These are not exaggerated cartoons. They are observations made sharper by comedy. Some of his most shared skits include the one where he plays a completely unqualified job interview candidate who somehow turns the tables on the interviewer. There is the music video cameo bit where he shows up in the background of famous videos looking completely out of place. And of course, there are his red carpet and award show appearance skits where he lampoons celebrity culture with a straight face that makes it even funnier. Now let's address the skit that created controversy. His How Conservative Women in America Act video divided the internet hard. In it, Druski uses makeup to portray a white conservative woman. Some people thought it was sharp political satire. Others called it disrespectful and drew comparisons to blackface in reverse. The debate was loud and it was real. This is important context because it shows Druski is not a safe, sanitized comedian. He pushes into uncomfortable territory. That has always been both his strength and his lightning rod. What this means for BET. Now let's zoom out, because this is really about more than one person. For years, legacy award shows have been struggling. Ratings across the board have been declining. Younger audiences are not watching live television the same way their parents did. They consume entertainment through clips, through streaming, through reaction videos on YouTube. BET recognized this, and instead of fighting it, they leaned into it completely. Naming Druski as host is a statement. It says BET understands where culture actually lives right now. The energy is chaotic and loose and genuinely funny. It got millions of views not because BET paid to promote it, but because people shared it organically because they thought it was hilarious. That is the entire game now. The social media skit universe and where Druski sits in it. Here is something that does not get talked enough. Druski is not operating alone. Country Wayne has over 17 million followers on Facebook and Instagram combined. He built that audience through relationship humor and Southern storytelling. Trevor Wallace has around 5 million followers across platforms. He specializes in surfer and bro culture parody. Funny Marco has over 3 million followers. He does street interview comedy. Big Jaw has around 2 million followers. Superwog has around 4 million YouTube subscribers. Anwar Jabawi has over 30 million followers, making him one of the most followed skit creators in the world. RDC World 1 has around 4 million YouTube subscribers. Their pop culture parody skits are some of the most carefully crafted content in the creator space. Druski sits at the top of this ecosystem in terms of mainstream crossover. Could Druski be the next Tyler Perry or Jerry Seinfeld? This is the question people are actually asking. Tyler Perry built an empire from the ground up. He created iconic characters, built his own studio in Atlanta, and is now worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He turned himself into an institution. Jerry Seinfeld took a specific comedic voice, turned it into a television show that ran for 9 seasons, and created one of the most studied pieces of comedic television in history. It built Seinfeld's wealth and legacy simultaneously. Now look at Druski. His character work translates directly to sitcom format. The Coulda Been Records character alone could sustain a full series. You could build an entire show around a delusional music executive. Think about the shows that define their eras. Martin, The Office, Seinfeld, and Living Color. All of these shows found one thing in common. They were built around a specific comedic sensibility that felt completely authentic to its creator. Druski has that same quality. His comedy is distinctly his. You cannot replicate the specific way he plays discomfort or the specific timing he uses to let a joke breathe. But there is another option on the table. What about a modern version of In Living Color? A sketch comedy show built for the streaming era, featuring a rotating cast of online creators grounded in Black culture. Well, think about Saturday Night Live. Druski hosting SNL would be a massive cultural moment. But could he create something that surpasses it? A live sketch show built on internet culture, designed to be simultaneously broadcast and clipped for social media? The controversy question and the Kevin Hart connection. We should not skip past attention here. At the 2025 BET Awards, Druski and Kevin Hart nearly had a confrontation backstage. The specific trigger was comments Druski made about Hart's wife. That incident created real friction between two people who otherwise occupy overlapping spaces in the comedy world. Now, Hart previously held the record as the youngest BET Awards host. Now Druski has that record. Whether that history adds awkward energy to the 2026 show remains to be seen. But it is absolutely something that the audience will be thinking about. Hart has become an entertainment institution. He has crossed from comedy into acting, producing, and business. If Druski is following a trajectory, Hart's path is one of the closest comparisons available. But Druski's style is raw, more unpredictable, less polished in the way that makes you nervous and excited at the same time. That unpredictability is exactly what makes a live show interesting, the FOMO factor and what it tells us. Here is maybe the most remarkable thing about this whole story. People who have not watched the BET Awards in years are saying they will tune in live. Not catch highlights the next morning, not watch a clip compilation on YouTube, actually tune in live on June 28th. One comment on Instagram read, "We back all in the living room watching the BET Awards just like old days." A Reddit commenter wrote, "Druski is very hit or miss for me, but I will tune in for the shenanigans." That is two very different types of people saying the same thing. Both are going to watch. When was the last time an award show made people feel like they genuinely could miss it? That fear of missing out, that sense that something real and unpredictable might happen, is something that almost no live television event creates anymore. Druski creates it naturally. because his comedy has always lived in the unscripted space between setup and chaos. The bigger picture. Let's pull back to the 30,000-foot view. What we are watching right now is a fundamental power shift in entertainment. For most of television history, the path to mainstream success ran through traditional gatekeepers, networks, talent agencies, studio executives. If those systems did not let you in, you did not get in. Druski never asked permission. He built an audience of millions by creating content that people chose to share. He was co-signed by Drake, collaborated with Snoop Dogg, appeared alongside Tom Brady and Timothy Chalamet. He was named to Forbes Under 30 list and was included on Rolling Stone's most influential creator list. He did all of that without a development deal or a network show. Now he's being handed the mic at one of the biggest nights in Black entertainment. And the people who built their careers through traditional channels are watching carefully. Because if Druski hosts the BET Awards and it goes well, that conversation about whether internet creators deserve mainstream stages ends permanently. And if he goes on from there to host the Grammys, that is a different kind of statement. And if that leads to the Oscars, then we are talking about someone who walks from a phone camera in Atlanta to the biggest stages in the industry without a single traditional credential. That is not just a personal story. That is a blueprint. So let's bring this all together. Drew DeWitt DeBoard, known as Druski, grew up in Atlanta, studied marketing at the University of Georgia, and built a comedy career entirely through social media. He is 31 years old. He has between 14 and 15 million followers across all platforms. And now he is the youngest host in BET Awards history, making history as the first content creator to ever take that stage. The bigger questions are still unanswered. Does he become a Tyler Perry, building an empire of owned content? Does he become a Jerry Seinfeld, channeling his voice into a single defining show? We do not know the answers to those questions yet, but we know this. The online skit universe has produced its first genuine mainstream crossover. June 28th, Peacock Theater, 8 in the evening Eastern Time. Be there live, because if Druski has taught us anything, it is that the best moments are the ones nobody planned for. And this might be the biggest unplanned moment in awards show history. It's Balboa.